Okay, there's another short letter or an email that I received that I would like to talk about. This is Bob, but it's a different Bob. And this is the sequence that he is talking about with regards to his Bobette, his girlfriend. And he says this is a 16-step sequence of problems that he has with her, and I think that they're very interesting. And again, I think they tie into this kind of theme, and we'll talk about how they show up. 1. She shows upset and frustration with me that I've not followed what she thought was your advice. Right? So I, give some advice, and then his girlfriend, and the advice was to take a break from philosophy if it's causing lots of problems in his relationship. So 1, she shows upset and frustration with me that I've not followed what she thought was your advice. 2, I immediately feel anxiety and fear. 3, I think that my love of philosophy is being threatened. 4, I have an urge to defend myself, my love and enjoyment of philosophy and self-development. I also feel fear of what I would do otherwise. 5, I tell her that you did not mean that I should take a break from philosophy, that I should take a break from talking about philosophy with her. 6, she immediately disagrees, citing what you had said. 7, I cut her off and say, no, I talked to you directly, I know what you meant. 8, she gets upset again that I've cut her off and not believed her. 9, she feels as if I am saying she is stupid. 10, she says to go to where I transcribe much of it and points out where you said it. 11, I begin to question whether or not that is what you meant, but continue to be upset. 12, she then tells me how she feels hurt, saying that she felt I was implying number 9, she's stupid. 13, I begin to tell her I am scared of not following her interpretation of your advice. 14, she asks why I attacked her instead of telling her I was scared of following her interpretations of your advice. 15, I apologize profusely. 16, she seems to think that I am overwhelmed with it by having it in my ears, audio, books, podcasts, message boards all day. What would cause someone to show upset and frustration prior to or in conjunction with being curious? What could be some reasons why she wasn't curious? Well, I'll sort of start with the end if you don't mind, and we'll sort of work our way back a little bit. Well, I sort of have to reiterate this point, which I've made before, and there's no reason why I wouldn't have to reiterate it again, because it's a challenging point, at least it certainly was for me. What we're doing here is very, 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 very advanced. What we are doing here is extraordinarily advanced. To continue the metaphor that we were just using, there's not a whole chunk of people out there running a marathon while we're struggling to get out of our wheelchairs. We are not struggling to rejoin the human race because we are broken and they are whole, because we are smashed and they are healthy, because we are unwell and they are vibrant with health. We are not struggling to rejoin the human race, but to advance it. I'm feeling particularly preachy this morning. I hope that it's not turning you off. We're not trying to catch up with people. We are so far ahead of the pack that they can barely see us. So when you say, why is it that she wouldn't be curious? It's like saying to somebody who grew up in a cave, who grew up in a cave in England, why is it that they can't speak Mandarin? If you view yourself going through this process of self-growth, the philosophy of trying to strive to understand the truth, if you look at this as a process of fixing a brokenness within you so that you can be normal, then you're missing the whole point. And I hate to put it that baldly, I don't have a choice, that bluntly, you're missing the whole point. We're evolving here. You know, we're growing legs, we're growing lungs, we're becoming mammals. We're evolving here. Just look around at the world, how primitive it is. Crazy religious beliefs, everybody believing in all these crazy things that don't exist. The virtue of family, gods, countries, races, classes, all of these things. The world is completely enmeshed, mired in the magical, blinding, corrosive, giddy, druggy fog of mysticism of one form or another. Mythology, as a board member puts it, the world is run by mythology. People live in fairy tales. And as long as they only have reference to fairy tales, then they appear to be relatively normal. It's normal, right? Compared to what? That's always the question. Compared to what?